just the beauty of the art form. I think it's wonderful being able to take just ideas and making it into this fully formed, interactive piece of work. This is bringing an idea that I've had for so long to life. Just these few lines of code, because it lets me have like an inventory system. I love the fact that I can do this. And unlike something like journalism or fiction writing, where you take words and you make them your creative masterpieces, this is something that someone can actually experience. This is something that someone takes their own two hands and their own brain and physically interacts with. Unlike a book or a movie where you're just a passive bystander to everything. Preferably a game that has beginning, middle, and end, a little bit of a story, and has a wide variety of different levels someone can go through. It's hard for me to plug myself into the computer when I'm working on code, opposed to like working on like story or something like that. Or if I'm working on story, I could just lose hours of my life. But if I'm working on code, then it's like I'm constantly looking at time. I'm aware of the songs that I'm playing in the background passing. Yeah, it's essentially three-dimensional writing. I guess that's the best way to think of it. I've created all these sprites inside the engine. Now you see that the monsters, these enemy monsters, they sometimes drop like rocks or bones or like pieces of meat. If they collect enough of those to build this tent up over here, I've been able to get everything randomly generating. And then once that tent is fully built, you get to move on to the next level, which itself would be randomly generated. And at least for this world, it would randomly generate about 3 to 4 times, and then it would go on to like the final section. You beat that part of the world. It's like if I show this to someone, they would have no idea what all of this means. But all this is saying is that if a monster is dead, replace it. That's all of this code is. It's replace the monster twice, and if the third monster is dead, just go to the game over screen. Unfortunately, the scoring system broke a little bit, and I can deal with that. Well, I go into here, I look around. Something tells me I know what the problem is actually. I think I just figured out what was going wrong that entire time. Sequencing this is very important. Let's say that this line of code here was to kill the game, but this line of code here was to like update a global scoreboard. If this was after this, then it wouldn't do anything. So I need to make sure that every line of code is in the right order. So I'm working on more the creative aspect of things, because that's what I'm more interested in. That's where I'm going into college for. Knowing that my next big milestone is working on like coding a whole new feature. When you're going into the game design industry, playing games is not just playing games, it's also doing research.